Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of the ongoing anthology series of games I call Star Wars Saturdays because they're set in Star Wars and I usually run them on Saturdays. This is the fourth and final session of Storm Furies. Storm Furies is a drift of the Agon system or Agon system, written by John Harper and Sean Nittner. The Agon system, or Paragon system for Agon, is about Greek mythological heroes, and John Harper hacked it for space adventures. So I took that game, the hack of that hack, and then I hacked it a little more because it had a little bit more Battlestar Galactica than Star Wars, and it's just a beautiful mess that we have here that we've been playing. In the fourth session, our final session, the player characters are all members of a Starfighter Academy, the very first New Republic Starfighter Academy, because the timeline is post Return of the Jedi, and yeah, there's still Imperial remnants. There's still the warlord of the Empire known as Zinj. So there are a lot of fights still going on. Just because Palpy went down in the movie didn't mean that the galaxy was immediately free of the Imperial influence. There are a lot of dirtbags in the Empire. Turns out was just one puppet head. The puppet, the puppet master goes away. The puppets, not all of them were good people, and they wanted to hold on to the illegitimate power they had been given in the Empire. So the New Republic formed the Starfighter Academy in order to help free the galaxy, world by world. And these player characters, you guys had gone through your basic training or whatever other that equated to basic training, living a pretty rich and full life. And then you were cadets at this space academy. The last session, Brandon was unable to join us, so the character of Buttercup was not available. We didn't talk about it. Maybe she was on a secret mission. We'll figure it out in just a minute. But what took place was a bit of a surprise. After the previous two hops and month or so of training, the instructor pilots, who are known as Vanguard Squadron, were not available for your training hop or mission. Therefore, the Fury Squadron was split in half, and you guys were different sides, attackers, defenders, in a hop which was pretty fierce. And Rakul was the hero of the battle by far. The young Miri Allen was quite victorious and won a great amount of glory. And in that pitched battle, while there were, and if you jump down on the battle page down to like row 190 to see all the check marks, there were a lot of losses. Like, you guys won, but it was not a Pyrrhic victory, but let's just say it was rough. It was very rough. A lot of people were tagged in the hop as going down. So there were a lot of notes post the game. So oh, and advancing the call sign is just basically glory. There's a set of calcs in the D thing, and when it reaches a certain number, then it ticks over. And Greg's character just barely went over that amount, which is literally, it's like 79. So the moment you hit 80 glory, your call sign goes up. Let's see. Oh, we do have safety tools, which we have lines on certain things, veils on others, and a few ask first, which means it could be okay, but check in with us as players before you introduce this into the fiction that we have. We had ended with the third hop, went through a little bit of the R&R steps, and we'll begin our session when we go live and actual play with this thing called social, where you guys talk in character, or if you want to do vignettes as the game suggests, that's fine too. And then Brandon, last time I introduced a thing called extra social, so that you could interact with NPCs if you wanted, but you can always forego that if It doesn't interest you. That was just a selfish move on my part because I worked so hard making all kinds of NPCs on my NPCs tab, and I was very upset at the Agon or Paragon system not giving me the ability to talk in funny voices. So that's it. I copped to it. Let's go around the horn and have folks introduce themselves and remind us about our characters before we jump into the social part of R&R. Let's start from the left-hand side. So Brandon, you get to go first. Tell us a bit about your character.
Sure. I'm playing Layla Trevani, she who goes by the call sign Buttercup. She is human, and she comes off as driven and the type of leader who leads from the front. Her public information has her previous experience redacted, although some people learned previously that in fact she was recruited from being a TIE fighter pilot who turned her fighter, who basically left the battle after the Death Star was proofed, and turned herself into the rebellion and switched sides in the wake of the destruction to Voltran. But of course, there's a lot of opprobrium against that sort of thing, so it's not broadcast information. She's a tenacious, close-in pilot, and but a giving leader, preferring other people to have the spotlight rather than herself in many cases.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brandon. Next up is Greg.
Hey, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns. So does Vico. Vico is also known as Rack Ghoul. It's his call sign. He is riding high on this last mission. He recently got promoted out of the enlisted ranks and is an officer now. And you know, despite the whole training, all the training instructors not actually getting to see it, I guess they get to watch it on like a simulator or something. He's excited that he seems to be maybe the next in line for the Dark Letter trophy. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Thank you so much, Greg. Steven, you're up next.
Hi, my name's Steven. My pronouns are he, him. Today I'm playing Hound, call sign Hound or Ilko, who also has pronouns he, him. Hound is an Abedno, weird alien with little tendril kind of things around the mouth. And he was a higher rank but got knocked down and sent back to flight training. So he's a little surly and brutish and quick to temper and all of that. So
awesome. And last but not least, Joe, you're up.
Hey, I'm Joe, she, her. I'm playing Janella Jantek, aka Star Dancer, also she, her, who has been my character in every single Star Wars Saturday game that I played. Hopefully I can continue that and not die. So, you know, she has apparently a habit of just like on these training missions to dock and then just take over try and take over whatever facility she's docked with or something. It's worked out pretty well so far.
It has. So at the end of last mission, you guys had gone on your third hop. You were successful against the other half, the beta flight of Fury Squadron. And we pick up with you guys coming back in. You receive notes. And then at the end of the day, you are given over to your rest period. And I'm curious if anyone has in particular in our R&R social scene they would like. So this is social. Each pilot chooses another pilot or other personnel. Two players narrate a vignette of their character socializing alone or together with the squadron in their rec room, playing sabacc or grav ball, working out, eating a meal, enjoying a romantic interlude, and both take one bond with each other. And hey, if you want to not just vignette and talk it out, you can actually like drop in and talk in character. It's cool. I'm cool with that. I know it's against the rules, but This is our game now. 4 sessions in. Shall I call on folks?
I was gonna say that I think it's seen with Buttercup. I don't know exactly where, but I do want to frame it as sort of, you've dropped hints every once in a while that there's a history to the call sign Buttercup. And I think I'm curious to see that play out. Where might Buttercup and Rakghoul meet?
Any place you want. Want to play graph ball?
Sure.
Nice. I'm imagining you guys playing graph ball. Maybe it's a little bit like the volleyball sequence in Top Gun kind of deal, where the graph ball's bright. There are a lot of cadets who are there. Do you guys? Is it just like a small group of you playing graph ball? You think maybe just a couple of NPCs, so you guys can talk and play, kind of deal.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. I think maybe I'm just finishing up a round with Shorebecca, the Wookiee, and she has roundly beat me, just to spite me, because she's enlisted now, and I'm an officer, and so she's got to take me down a peg. And we're having a good-natured thing, and then I guess Buttercup comes in. Yeah, Shorebecca, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You lose again?
Yeah. Better in an X-Wing than I am at grab ball. Shorebecca's got to prove it every day.
Let the Wookiee win doesn't always apply.
Oh, it's not letting.
Yeah, well, maybe I can show you a thing or two the next time you get together.
Oh, you want to do a doubles?
Sure. Love it.
Hey, Shorebecca.
Oh,
Who does Shorebecca choose for her doubles partner?
that is a great question. As I furiously look through, I think Shorebecca's going to call on Lieutenant Junior Cutter Rook, who has been hanging around a little bit more after her talk with Star Dancer. And Rook didn't just happen to be maybe over talking to Tags at the time. But Shorebecca grabs her by his shoulder, the Deveroni, and says, yeah. Okay. Let's do this.
Hey, Rook, settling in okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You actually going to go on a hop with us again?
Yeah. I got pulled away for last fight. But I'm glad to be back with the squadron. Everybody needs the corners knocked off them a little more.
All right, let's get down to business. Come on, Rakghoul. You may have flown all right, but I just saw how Fuzz took you down a peg. So let's take you down a few more.
We'll see about that.
Should we make this into a brief competition?
Contest?
A contest of some kind?
I think we
Indeed.
should.
All right. So
Sure.
let's I'm gonna say that this is a challenge rating of a 3, and I will throw up my dice for how much glory is at stake and what you gotta beat. Rook is a D6, and working together, Shorebecca is a D8. I get to choose the best of that and add a 3 to it. So you've got to beat an 8.
All right. So for Vico, call sign, I don't think a roll applies here. Do you want to set the domain, or do we set a domain that we're using?
Yeah, I should set the domain. Yeah, thank you for that. I think the domain is Oh shoot! Hold on. Let me do the hover overs.
So I think tactical makes the most sense.
What?
Close combat. Yeah, I think that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So yeah, I'm
Stay
rolling
with the speed of grab all those.
Yeah, I think I'm just rolling those two because fictionally, if Vico loses, that just kind of feeds into. I guess I could. No, I don't want to burn a bond.
Okay, I was about to say, you want to burn? Can't spend any charges.
No. All right. And then is Buttercup building a roll as well?
Sure.
Ooh, so maybe Buttercup steals your glory.
Yeah,
Nice.
that'd be fine with me. Okay, rolling. Ooh, that's a 6.
Oh my, that appears to be a fail. I think it's
And
a thing where
what did you need?
8.
8,
Mm,
and you need an 8 as well.
Yeah. So I'll use my call sign. Rolls don't apply, as you say. And
Okay.
tactical.
I would make it a roll. I would make an argument for interceptor, but
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
6 and 8. Trying to show how you together we can beat them. So I'm going to bring in your call sign.
Before you
Okay.
actually roll, I'm going to say this was an arduous contest. So it's spin charge if you suffer that way. It's fine.
Fair. And my tactical. So 10 to 8
Alright.
and a 6.
Wow, that's a lot of dice. I bet you can beat a 6.
So that's not a 10. That's no moon. Yeah, 14 beats 6.
Yeah. So you
Also beats an 8. So.
Yeah, it beats an 8 and a 6.
Or an
so-
8, rather.
Cool. Rekul, you'll get 1 glory, 8 glory to Buttercup. Buttercup, you dominate. Is it because Shorebecca's so busy on trying to shut Rekul down? Or is there another reason that you're able to score pretty handily against Rook and Fuzz?
Yeah, that's basically it. Is Shorebecca is trying to nail Rakul, and I can see that determination. So when Shorebecca is going to, going to throw a low hard one, into Rakul's territory, and so then I moved. So I pick it off a couple of times and just ram it back at them.
Nice.
It's like that's the. Wookiees are strong and they are fast and they are predictable.
All true.
Okay, and once you, in this case, it's so determined on beating you that they wasn't paying attention to me
Nice.
a whole lot.
God, we
So I
circle
think we're
back
in
around
the,
to the Buttercup
yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're in like the sonic showers afterwards, and Rekul will just turn to Buttercup and go, I've been meaning to ask you.
Yeah.
Buttercup.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it fits.
Oh, what? It's not a brassy starfighter, name like Snake or Spike or Lightning or
Yeah, I don't know.
doesn't evoke terror in the hearts of your enemies.
No, it doesn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not a big story for Rakul. I just think they look cool. I think they're aggressive.
They are.
I want to, scare the Empire remnants. But
Yeah. Well, I've never seen one except from the air, but they look pretty nasty.
someone give you that name?
In a way, yeah, they did. My brother Raph, who was a year older than I was, and we would fight because that's what siblings do. And I would lose a lot because he was bigger than I was and older than I was. And at some point, I don't know where he acquired it, he told me, just butch up, Buttercup. And from that point on, even when I lost, I never cried. And I never stopped and started winning some of those fights. So I decided.
Where?
My previous call sign, if you care to know, was XJC7.
That doesn't.
That's fighting for a force that doesn't use individualized call signs.
Oh. Raccoon gets quiet for a moment. Is RAF XJC8?
No, Rafa's on Alderaan.
I'm sorry.
He was on R&R. Nice planet to visit, peaceful, neutral.
Yeah. Never got the chance.
He had family there.
That's right. Yeah. I'm out of character. Buttercup is Alderani, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he decided he was going to take the trip and visit our folks. I wasn't, I was still on duty. So he's still here with me in the cockpit. And she taps the little holo cube that she wears around her neck. But yeah, that's when I changed sides. Not that anybody will thank me for that, but I had to do it.
Well, for our prospects on the Grav Ball side, I'm glad you did.
Yeah. You're doing all right. You're doing all right. Just remember, drawing attention to yourself works both ways. It's great for some things, and for other things, it just makes you a target.
Well, they can target me all they want. I'll take one down for Alderaan next time.
If you like. I'll never redress that one. But at least I can ride out the rest of this war doing something that matters. It's hard to say what I believe in anymore.
What, you don't think the New Republic's on the right side?
We'll see. I know the Empire's on the wrong side. So that's good enough for me. I'll fight against my enemies. And
if this was the Battlestar Galactica game, I'd suddenly be like, I think Buttercup's a Cylon. No.
It's we'll see what happens when they consolidate power. The Empire was I've read my history. The Empire was pretty benevolent when it first was formed. Brought peace and order to some sectors that have been pretty barbaric, lawless, full of pirates. And for a while, it was a good thing. And then they got expansionist. And
Double check if the Myrilons are one of the many species the Empire subjugated.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And they were.
They went into. So let's just hope the rebels don't, go that same way. But you or I probably won't live to see it one way or the other. These things take time.
These things do.
But if they're going to win, they're going to need good Starfighter pilots. So that's why I'm here. I'm not really in the competition. I'm here they put me here to help sharpen up everybody else.
Well, I have an example of that.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to put myself out there, but if you all make it, and then that's what matters.
I like it. I think we should cut it there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good cut. Awesome. Each of you get a bond. Hound or Star Dancer? Do either of you have a scene you'd like to ask for?
Joe, do you have an idea for a scene?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna do my NPC scene first.
Love
Switch
it.
it up. Chaos. All right, so like
crazy. What are we even doing here?
obvious. This is gonna be in the Hard Luck Cantina, and basically, like, a lot of people will be involved, but like, there's the one. But like, basically, Janella is basically like somebody challenged, like, because people were hearing about how much she brags about how like nobody could drink her under the table. So like we're going to be going a bit through that, and she's like, outlasted a few people right now, and then finally, this is on. Like Varuna is in there, and he's just like looking upon the whole spectacle. I'm assuming, like, just based off that rumor he's royalty, he's probably a bit standoffish and snobbish. So that's what I'm playing off of. Hey Shiru, what's the matter? You're not having a good time?
And Shiru has a few glasses in front of him, and he just sits back and says, "I'm having enough fun." Yes. Why do you ask, Star Dancer?
Well, I mean, for one, you constantly look over here with this sneer plastered on your face. I'm not sure if that's just the way your face normally is. If so, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Maybe I thought part of me was thinking that maybe like you think you can do better. I mean, as I mean, it's either you or Rebecca. I could probably try. I could probably take her down.
Well, if you want to take down the Wookiee, why don't you go ahead and do that?
But now I'm interested in you. As she gets up, stumbling a bit, playing drunk because she knows a bit how to play that up. As she like comes over to the bar to lean next to him. What's your deal, everybody? So are you royalty? Because that's the rumor going on.
Naboo. One day a queen, another day a senator. What's royalty anymore?
Yeah, that plays. How does that work?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Do you not know?
No, not really.
Okay. Were you royalty?
Perhaps. I'm a fighter pilot now. Damn good one. That's all that matters.
Do you like talking to people?
No,
Then why did you come to the cantina?
It's the
You
only
could have
place
just
that has
you
drinks.
could have went to down below, or you could have just drank alone somewhere. So what I'm picking up that you probably are trying to hide is you want to actually hang out with people, but you're just too, I don't know, intimidated, afraid, nervous, anxious. I'm getting a lot of that.
What you're getting is frustration. So you've come over here to mock me with your little HoloNet star presence. Yeah. Go ahead, take my drink. And he like pushes the drink and he starts to get up.
I don't.
Like,
No,
he's
no,
very
no,
huffy.
no. What are you afraid of? Having some fun? Getting along with people?
Is this a Zeltron thing? I don't understand you at all.
Just a little bit, probably.
I see. I heard that you ran all the way down below to sniff after a Deveronian.
Her name's Cutter, and she's wonderful. Thank you.
What do you want?
Well, right now I want to know more about you. You're a fighter pilot now, as is a lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's the course of events that brought you here? Do you think you can just do this? I mean, I had this conversation with Cutter where she didn't want to really hang out with anyone. That's not the good way to continue with this life.
So you're the morale officer for the Starfighter Academy.
Is that a thing?
It seems you've appointed yourself as such.
Well, then, yeah, totally.
God save me.
Look, do you want to have this conversation elsewhere?
Are you offering to have sex with me or something?
Do you want to? Will that get you to lighten up?
Sure.
Okay.
Wow, the passion.
Let's go. He gets up, starts to head back towards the bunks or something.
I'm pretty sure there's got to be like quick rent motel type place in this.
Sure.
Because this is a station that knows, all right, there's a lot of trainees. They might get a little randy. They're not going to want to do that in front of everyone else.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think he's not planning on opening up near anybody else.
Okay. All right.
So do we?
No, the things happen, and then like, all
Okay,
right. So
cut
what's
the
the deal?
chase.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think it's like a very clean but small, sparsely appointed hotel room, and afterwards, two of you are lying there, and he says,
Apparently, like they know me by name already. So.
"Oh, Janella, it's a
Yeah.
discount. Really shouldn't have offered her that discount. It's a joke, really.
Well, it's like a high roller thing, you know?
I've lost like 25% on, it's like a Toydarian who's complaining to himself about offering you some kind of HoloNet star discount for the hotel rooms. And so, yes, you finally have Lieutenant Cass Varuna Sharu, and he says, well, my house decided that the employment or my house was deposed. We were broken up. We did some things that were frowned upon. It's embarrassing. I don't like to talk about it.
That's fine. Nobody needs to know everyone's backstory.
Except you, it seems.
Well, I just want to know. I just want to get you to break out of your shell and like socialize more. Like the 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 rebellion, the republic. I don't know what we're calling ourselves anymore. Is formed up of like people of all walks of life. Like, so you did some shady stuff in your past. So what? We probably have how many defectors? Like, you didn't think they didn't do shady stuff? Think I didn't do shady stuff?
Did you do shady stuff?
Yeah. You don't go from being a slave on Jakku to suddenly being a HoloNet star without having to do some stuff.
I see. Well, all of my family's holdings were seized by the New Republic, and there you go. I had to do something. So,
Yes.
fighting against the Empire is not how I imagined, but
Well, what did you imagine? Because you didn't have to. You still don't have to if you don't want to. Or you don't have to do it here. There's plenty of ways to fight against the Empire.
do you have a family, Star
Not,
Dancer?
not that I know of anymore.
Okay. Well, then you
I mean,
don't.
my family is the friends that I make along the way. Like, there are a select few people that I call close that I can reach out to. That doesn't mean I don't try to make more.
You don't. But your father, mother, siblings, not involved in your life.
Don't know them.
See, well, very different for me, and I didn't have a great deal of choice. Else needed to make amends, and I was a peace offering. So
Yes, but you don't have to stay here if you don't want to.
I'm hoping to get a choice assignment, serve my years, and then retire from this and move on with my life some.
But what do you want to do? And I guess this is like the challenge, trying to get him to open up about what he actually wants to do.
Nice. What does he want to do? How you've been very, very forthcoming and open. I think there's this moment where the like grumpy facade breaks, and he says,
Should I roll to overcome?
I don't know. Like, is this a glory contest?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not.
So yeah, I think he breaks and he says, I don't know yet. Janella, my whole life has been flipped over. I don't know what lies for me at the end. I know how to fight, I know how to fly. Everything's been put upon me. I'm just not sure. Sorry, I don't have some.
That's fine.
Dream.
But like, maybe you should figure out something you want to do before you dedicate yourself to so many years of just following orders under some other person telling you what to do.
You have a very laissez-faire attitude about military service.
Yeah, because we're all volunteers.
Maybe you're a volunteer, but I did sign a contract for the training.
Pretty sure you can get out of it.
Cycles of this.
They're not the Empire. Like, if they're trying to force you to do something you don't want to do, that makes them no different from the Empire.
If I were to muster out and quit, which is an opportunity, then I don't think I exactly leave the New Republic military. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you can just fly off. But
do you want help leaving?
Janella, I'm here. I'm not bad at this. It's fine.
And just like Jim pinches the. Just because you're not bad at something and it's fine doesn't make it a reason to keep doing it.
I'll take it under advisement. What? I opened up. We made
No,
an
that's
exchange.
fine. That's fine. I'm just like,
Stars above
I
you,
don't use.
hard-headed woman.
Yeah, you're a hard-headed, and you're a what is that? Flarking. You're being as banta pudu, lots of muka chocolata and all this stuff. She just like just goes off.
He sits
Calling
up
me
at this
hard-headed.
point,
You don't even know
starts
what you want to
putting
do.
on some clothes. It's like, see, this is why I don't talk to people at the. This is a waste.
Yeah, this is why. It's just you need to stop living in the shadow of the past. That's what you need to do. Get your head out of your ass.
Thank you. Appreciate your counsel. And he's like putting on clothes and trying to get out of here. You've cracked the exterior, but unfortunately, he's a hard-headed man. Very prideful.
Ugh, royalties.
Awesome. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for your.
Guess I got a bond with him somehow.
Dude, you totally have a bond with him. If ever you want somebody to like fly in like Han Solo and take out a particular, TIE interceptor, he's the guy. All right, cool. Hound, what about you?
Yeah. So I think I'd like a scene with a couple of NPCs and with Janella, if I can hard frame that a little bit.
Yeah,
That
what
sound
you
good?
got in mind?
I think we're in the cafeteria and we're kind of going through and getting our food. And as we walk through, Hound knows what's up. And as the Hound and Janella are kind of walking through the cafeteria after they've gotten their food. And basically we see the tables kind of shore up where there's no space, where there had been space before.
Ooh.
And Hound kind of takes Janella by the elbow and directs her back to a table kind of in the corner. It's near like an air vent where it's blowing and it's a little hard to hear. And I think that Lucky and Wildchild are both there, the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of sit down at that table and they kind of nod and we start to chit chat. And I imagine this is kind of the loser table. This is for the people who are about to burn out and wash out and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the other tables. So I think Hound says, he kind of ducks his head a little bit and says, haven't ever seen the table from this side. And he kind of turns to Lucky and he says, how do you deal with it all the time? Is it, you're still here. You've been here a long time.
I don't think about what they think. You just got to try as hard as you can, and it'll work out.
And Hound leans forward and says, I think the crew is only as strong as its weakest link. So if we're strong, then that makes the entire crew stronger.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Oh,
Janella does not realize that we're like, this is like the reject table.
You sat down at the loser table? Oh, this is great.
I was like, no, it's my friends.
yeah. And Hound says, well, you probably noticed that the other trainees weren't as welcoming as they have been in the past. And I think this is something that, those who are about to burn out, or those who have a reputation like Lucky and myself here, are seen as bad luck signs. And I think it's up to us, like Lucky said, it's up to us to make of it what we can.
That's ridiculous.
I agree.
I thought it was just your smell.
Wild Child's just like, she kind of like some blue milk comes out of her nose. She laughs so hard at that. It's like, oh God. Oh, that hurts. That was so good though. So good. The smell thing. That's good.
Like, yeah, seriously, like this, the idea of a reject or losers, that's ridiculous. Like,
Well, you have to understand. I agree. I think it's not useful, but you have to understand that a lot of the people here have lost someone, and they didn't lose someone because they weren't good enough. They lost someone just due to dumb luck, and they have to assign something to that. And good luck charms and bad luck charms are where normal beings gravitate to. And if they can assign bad luck charms to certain people and good luck charms to other people, I mean, Lucky owns it, right?
okay, but how do we get them back for this?
Oh, you don't get them back. You just prove that you're as
Yeah,
good as any of the rest of them are.
But they're being rude, so we should get them back.
Wild Child leans in. I like the sound of this. I'm in.
And I think Hound is like, I thought you might find like-minded individuals here.
Like he says, just don't get kicked out. Okay.
I promise nothing. Are you in on this, Hound? Do you want to get up to some mischief?
Team building, yes. But I will not participate in anything that is destructive to the mission.
I mean, we're technically in school still, so yeah, obviously we're not going to like sabotage anything. That's just, make them look like idiots. Like replace their shampoo with various, like stuff that'll make them smell bad or whatever, or like dye their hair.
Hair removal. Wild Child throws
let's not
in.
go that far. I don't want to. That's a bit much, Wild Child. Come on.
Oh, come on. It'll be great.
That doesn't work because some of them shave their heads.
Okay, you're not wrong.
It's not a universal.
I don't understand this whole fascination with smell.
Like he says, do you not have olfactory organs?
Oh, yes, they're very good.
Oh, okay.
All right then. Explains something maybe.
So you guys want to pull some kind of prank?
Yeah.
Wild Child is 100% on board. Lucky will get pulled into it, mostly to make sure her sister doesn't go too far. Hound, are you in on this?
I think that's the same thing that Hound is doing, is trying to make sure that it doesn't go too far.
Nice. Cool. So let's set a challenge rating for this contest. Do you get caught?
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
Of course. So I will say that there are eyes watching, and the challenge rating is a 4. And so I'm gonna prank challenge. Here we go. Oh my goodness, this is obviously easy. There's too much going on. It is a 5, but it's not much glory because it was so easy. Sorry. So I should probably set the I think it's subterfuge related, right?
Yeah, probably makes sense.
Operations.
So should I build a dice pool, I guess? It doesn't sound like Hound's. The Hound's just a lookout.
I'd like to respond to what you end up doing.
Okay.
So yeah, please.
All right. So call sign D6. I feel like scout works for this.
Okay.
Infiltration,
Yeah,
intelligence gathering.
Those all work pretty well. Yeah.
D8. Operations is a D8. Right. Those are just like 3. There's no charges. I'm not being reckless. I'll spend a burn to add my command die.
Oh my gosh, you are so eager to burn out.
Well,
This
I have to
seems
leave early,
appropriate.
so
I know.
it's like, do I spend another burn? No. When you mark burn to add a second name, take 2 dice instead of 1. So that's 2d10 off that. So
Oh jeez.
I guess that's it.
I think you're gonna pull this off with a plum.
An 11.
Wow, that's not great for all those dice.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, a 5 on a D10 is
Fair.
yeah, a little more than less than 50, right? It's 40% chance or something. I don't know maths.
What is
So-
the reaction from Hound? What do you do?
Well, I want to hear more about the prank. What exactly did you guys pull off?
Yeah,
All
what
right.
does it look like?
So basically, like, I'm going through and like get through their shampoo bottles or whatever. I don't even bother with Short because I'm like, she takes sonic showers. I don't know how to. I don't know if she uses what she does for her fur, but like basically adding like this really like pungent, probably like insect pheromone or something, or like it's just like real bad. So like.
So kind of Verpine mix, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
into it.
So I have a
So-
question. Do you want to make them smell bad, or do you want to influence them with hormones and things like that so that they get super angry or super horny or something like that?
I mean, I'm already doing the one
Okay.
on my own.
You want
at
to
times.
annoy them.
Yes, I
see.
want to annoy them and make them look bad, basically.
Okay.
Like getting them angry. I don't want to like have them break out in violence, but like when they're like lining up for inspection in the morning and they're like, the person like, what is going on with you?
Nice.
Yeah, so I think Hound says, okay, we need a good scapegoat, and we need to make sure that it's believable, and we need to make sure that our tracks are covered, right? So I think that Hound is going to, so let's see, what do I have? I have my call sign, which is a D6. And I need, I don't think boarding actions apply here.
Nah.
This is,
I mean, it's close. If you were to argue for it, I probably wouldn't shoot you down too hard.
well, I don't think Hound is going to basically, so Hound is not going to do a physical frontal assault or anything like that.
Okay.
But I think what he is going to do is he's going to go in and try to break into someone's locker to plant the scent, basically to plant this source to make it look like them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's so I would say rewiring might be commando, like rewiring a lock so that you can get into access stuff.
Yeah, slicing into a lock, that works.
Yeah, okay. So I'll add a D8 and then I add a D6 for operations, and I will also spend a burn to tactical, to bring in tactical. So that's a 2D6 and 2D8. Let's see what that looks like.
All right.
Oh, that looks horrible.
Wow. Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
a
a 5.
5. Wow,
Yeah.
I think you get caught, right?
I think, yeah. So I think what happens is I tried to break into Birdie's locker to plant the thing, and I think I leave something so that it's traced back to me.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. So yeah, people line up the next day.
So wait, Do I get the final narration? Is that how like?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
That's fair.
So, you said like I definitely how and you Hound. Sorry, Steven. You said Birdie obviously catches you in the middle of doing it,
Um,
or
I wouldn't necessarily. I don't want Birdie to look all like heroic, like they know what's going on. So I think that Birdie gets blamed for it at first, and then it's very obvious that I planted it.
okay.
So I left something telltale behind.
So, so then like as the first like obviously the plane goes off, they all get the thing. But like Birdie, like during the inspection of the lineup, Birdie's about to like rat you out because like he figured maybe he caught on to the game beforehand, and that's when they do the inspection of all the lockers, and he's pointing to yours, but the stuff's not there. But then when they get to Janella's, all like the evidence is clear as day.
Oh no. You hit it. You took it for. Oh man.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
obviously she's gonna get chewed out, but I'm like,
oh yeah, it's totally a thing where Blank and Judge are like pulling you in,
they
and
shouldn't have been jerks, as she's like escorted off like the bunks room. I'm like, this is a lesson.
A lesson in teamwork.
nice.
But yeah, I get
Yeah.
pulled into the office or the principal's office basically.
Oh, the enlisted like you, but the officers are like, man, why is she here? Why is she here? She's so much trouble. Yeah, but look at that photo op. Cool. So then that is 1 glory for Ilko, aka Hound, and 5 glory for Star Dancer. 5 measly glory. Sorry. But that does get you up a name die.
Yep.
What do you know? What do you know? Cool. Checking in a time and knowing we only have an hour for Star Dancer. Is everybody cool if we just take a quick bio break and then jump into mission? I know it cuts us short on social. Awesome. So let's. All right, and we're back. So as I said, I was going to interrupt our social. I hope everybody had fun with it. Here is what we start off with. So return from commercial, smash cut into the deck of an Imperial Star Destroyer. Like, that long area where you've got the recessed areas where folks are on their various devices, and there's that place where the Imperial commander or admiral can make the long cross, the dramatic look, and the starlights or the space through, you can see it through the Durasteel plates and the like. And on this Imperial Star Destroyer is a man by the name of Apwar Trigid. The Star Destroyer is known as the Implacable. Now, this is a point where we see a younger Buttercup. So how do we know that this is a younger Buttercup as she arrives in her TIE Fighter pilot uniform, along with an entire squad of TIE Fighter pilots? So what is it about Buttercup? Is it like a shorter haircut, longer haircut?
She has a pixie cut because especially to fit under the helmet that TIE Fighter pilots usually wear. But it's a fashionable thing. She has a pixie cut. Her eyes are bright. Her movements are quick. She smiles.
Oh, wow, this is crazy. And so there are a few other Imperial pilots who all have
she's the very picture of a young hotshot.
Nice. So you come up, and of course it's like all humans all the time. There's one Chiss pilot, but the rest are all humans, young, clean cut, short hair, and there's more sneering faces than Buttercup, who's the hotshot pilot. Maybe there's a couple of jealous glances your way, but you've served with all of these lieutenants, and you guys have been called forward to this guy who is a captain at this flashback point, Apwar Tridget. There's a picture of him in the NPCs. I'll drop the name. What is it that Buttercup finds odious about Captain Apwar Tridget?
Let's see. What she would find odious is that he's got this kind of nobility, couldn't give a shit bearing. When he gives orders, he doesn't look at any of the troops. He just kind of strolls back and forth, just if you know, he's just talking to himself almost. You know, and but it's especially his air of, you know, I am superior in rank to you, therefore I am better than you are.
Yeah, so you guys all
that rankles us, because it's like, you know, we're fucking terrific at our jobs.
Yes, you are. You are one of the best TIE fighter squadrons in all of the Empire, and serving under the Implacable. You know, I'm sure that some of your fellow pilots have said the Implacable is beneath you. You should be on a super Star Destroyer. You should be on the Death Star. But no, you're with the Star Destroyer, and you're going to be...
Takes pull to get on the Death Star.
It does. So, of course, as you guys are arriving, Captain Tridget is back turned to you guys, hands clasped behind his back in a military fashion, but he waits for everybody to arrive, and then waits just a little bit longer. Like, you guys have to stand there in silence, lined up in formation. He's just that kind of guy who's going to make you wait just a little bit longer. Then he turns and crosses in front of everyone, and you can tell it's like he's inspecting you as he walks past each of you before he speaks. And then finally, when he reaches the end of the line, right by the Chiss pilot, he turns and says, "Today is a great day for the Empire. The full power of the Imperial Death Star has finally been brought, not against Skara, but against those loathsome peaceniks of Alderaan."
So when he says the power of the Imperial Death Star has been brought, there's kind of a cheer, notwithstanding discipline.
Yes, there's some excitement among the group, and then he gestures, and up on a hollow they bring up a hollow of the Death Star and Alderaan, and then you get to see it. You get to witness it as all of the TIE fighter pilots and all of the command staff who are here are watching the first live feed of the Death Star destroying Alderaan. Your family, everyone was there, and everyone around you is elated. What do we see on Buttercup's face?
Astonishment, anger. She says, "That's a lie," but maybe it's not heard in the general chorus. And she looks to either side, and it's like, this can't possibly be right.
And yeah, we have that disbelief on Buttercup's face, and we pull out of that flashback. And I think we pick this up as, let's see. So Rakul and Buttercup, you two had just finished your grav ball routine. Hound and, well, at times a little wonky because of the pranks, so it has to happen after pranks. Let's say that grab ball routine maybe happened during a rest period after inspections the next morning. So Star Dancer, you've just gotten out of getting chewed out by both Blank and Judge, and Hound, you have the uncomfortable feeling with Wild Child and Lucky that like, hey, Star Dancer got in trouble, and it looks like she ate all this up, and you didn't take any of the fall. And I think Lucky would like mention, the Star Dancer ate the bad outcome here, but that's when let's see, who would be the person? It would probably be Tags would be the one who comes like running in and grabs Rakghoul, grabs you by the arm. She's like, Rack, you've got to see, come on, we got to see this, you got to see this, I can't believe it. And then she runs into the main area where all of your bunks are, right? And she drops down a little hollow projector, and up comes a New Republic naval report. Like, if you guys remember from Vietnam, it's just basically the military radio. And it clicks right on in the middle of a news report. And the reporter says, yes, once again, on Graven 7, which it appeared had been marked as safe and no longer touched by the Empire, it turns out that there was an Imperial Star Destroyer on Graven 7. The Talon Squadron, 11 X-Wing pilots were killed by Admiral Apple Artrich's forces. This is a terrible day. It turns out that the Star Destroyer has secured Graven 7. There are a number of terrestrial artillery forces. And of course, General Harris Syndulla is mustering a quick response. We will have a brief moment of silence for the 11 11 X-Wing pilots who were taken down over Graven 7, Talon Squadron. And then there's a brief bit of silence, and then everyone's like looking around. What is Star Dancer's reaction to this report?
She's pretty quiet about it.
Just taking it in. This is a
Yeah.
bit much. Hound, who did you know among Talon Squadron?
I think it was one of my previous reports. Someone I was the leader of, and one of the few people who got out with me. Like one of the few survivors. Yeah.
Nice. And there's this moment of silence as everybody's taking it in, and people are starting to get upset, and that's when you hear the click of heels, and you see Captain Juno Eclipse enters the barracks, and of course Birdie, because Birdie's a super suck up, says, "Officer on deck!" And people start to form up, and she says, No. Listen, I'm looking for 6 volunteers. We're going on a hunt.
Buttercup immediately volunteers.
Hound stands up.
Rakghoul already has his helmet on.
Nice.
Well, I guess I'll volunteer too.
This, you don't have to. This is personal. I know
that was out of character. Sorry, I think.
I thought it fit great in character.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That seemed like a Janella reaction.
Real quick, was Talon Squadron our trainers who were called off?
No, they were not. That's Vanguard Squadron.
That's Vanguard. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Talon Squadron were not your trainers. That was Vanguard.
Yeah, okay.
I'm actually folding into a little bit of like expanded universe stuff. Sorry. I got excited about Graven 7. here. I'll just drop this in case people are bored. It's literally a paragraph, but yeah. So we cut to you guys heading out to the hangar to pick your ships. So Captain Juno Eclipse is going to be the captain over a large freighter that will be the supply and command deck, and she's taking 6 Starfighter pilots. That's all she decides that she can handle, and you guys are going to go try to take on a Star Destroyer. So, yeah.
Rich, you are roboting just a little bit.
Dang it! Okay.
I think just the little software thing you do, and it'll be good.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Okay, still roboting when I go back to the.
Nope, all good.
Hey, that's got a fix. It works pretty well. All right. So let me tell you, friends, that the challenge rating for this, the threat level is a 8. This is live. So if people get 2 checks on their fighter, then they explode. So let's jump into it. Has everyone chosen your Starfighter? Looks like we got an X-Wing, got a B-Wing. Go ahead and choose your 4 charges. Oh, wow. It's an array. A-Wing, of course. I think Janelle will always choose A-Wing all the time.
Yeah.
It's fine. It seems very Janella. Like Star Dancer is an A-Wing kind of girl. Cool. So we've got a whole array. X-Wing, B-Wing, Y-Wing, and A-Wing. And we're sticking with the 2 that you'd worked with before. So Tags is in an X-Wing, and Sharbeka Fuzz is also in an X-Wing. The Beta flight is sent off on a patrol with some of the other trainee pilots to kind of keep things in contained outside of Graven 7. But you guys are the tip of the spear that's going to try to take down the implacable. So yeah.
I have a quick question of Janella. Janella, are you going to do a boarding action?
I mean, I don't be interesting, but I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all gonna die. This is based off mathematics of 6 of us.
It's the good news you have. The good news is there's no open. We're going to go straight to clash. So that war of attrition statistically isn't going to be so bad. But yeah, this is rough. Does any player want to like hop in and play a different pilot? I'm 100% okay with it.
Maybe after I die.
Exactly. Sounds good. Cool. So I'm just taking a look at what our opening domain should be.
I know this Tidget.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Brandon?
No, just to the other pilots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what did you say? I don't know.
I know this Tidget.
Real quick, I think just mechanically, because Brandon didn't get a social scene, should Buttercup get a bond with Tidget to
Weird.
burn?
Or with one of the TIE fighter pilots, maybe? If you want one, take it.
We had a scene with
you did
Sharbeka was in
with Sharbeka and Rakghoul, and you got a bond with Rakghoul, right? But
yes, I did.
But if you wanna bond with any of the TIE fighter pilots or Tidget, that would be amusing.
Yeah, Tidget. I've got a bond with him.
Yeah, you do. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, cool. So the very first opening clash is going to be tactical, be our domain. And so you face the threat of Traven 7's terrestrial defense artillery, as well as the forces of the Implacable and its TIE Fighter Corps. Its well-renowned TIE Fighter Corps.
Yes.
So who... I'm sorry, for some reason I was like, hey, maybe you should do that thing where you're supposed to like scream out but this is fine. We haven't done that the whole time. So all of you stand against this, I assume. So I'll describe the circumstances of the battle and any details that apply. Following Captain Juno Eclipse's orders, you guys lock in hyperspace coordinates. Rakul, of course, your wonderful astromech is already ready to go. R5 to 2T.
It's like a trainer B-wing, so there's a second seat. And again, he's been
nice.
strapped in. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Yes, that is true. It would have to be a trainer B-wing. So, circumstances of the battle and any details that apply. The pilots and the opponents make their opening moves, maneuvering for a superior position. So, as you guys come out of hyperspace, you see that the Star Destroyer is there. You see the remnants, like the debris of the X-Wing, the X-Wings that were destroyed. You see that there is one X-Wing that is actually still flying, and there are 4 TIE fighters that are harrying it. It can't get into hyperspace, but it looks like evidently one member of that squadron is not yet down. You see that there are all kinds of long blaster arcs of cannons that are firing from terrestrial platforms, and then the Implacable herself. So as I had said, the tactical is the domain that will begin, and we're jumping straight to Clash. So, oh, I put tactical and open, but it should be in there. So, boom. Let's jump into it. Buttercup.
Is this dire, perilous, and daunting? And
oh,
arduous?
thank you. That is a great question. It is a dire conflict. Oh, wait, does that push Janella immediately into burnout? Like right off?
Not immediately.
So close. But you get an advance out of this. So yeah, it's dire. You have to mark burn to contest, which means
yeah, I still
someone's going to take
2 boxes above the line.
All right, you have to mark burn to contest, which means if you want to jump in this fight, you have to mark a burn, which means you will get an advance, Janella.
And that means, so everyone has to mark burn to thing, right?
Yes.
So everybody has to roll a d6?
No, there will be 1d6 for the whole thing, and everyone who wants to jump into this has to mark a burn. So who wants to roll the d6?
I'll do it.
All right. So he takes the first hit.
2.
Oh,
my thing.
It's you. You eat that one.
Oh,
Star Dancer takes a hit.
I just got here. What's going on? Ah!
You guys come out and there's
planetary cannon.
Or maybe you like kind of get hit by some of the debris, man.
This is why I realized Storm Furies has 12.
Yep. It is
after last session, I'm like, oh, that's why there's 12, isn't it?
Yep, that's why there's 12. That said, I did have an open, which was like a whole round of things. But yeah, it could be deadly. This could be terrible. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. Let's jump.
So what are the threats here?
Okay, great question. So there is the terrestrial within the clash. The threats are the X-Wing pilot who's trying to escape, the Implacable herself, and the terrestrial defense forces that are firing upon you guys. I'll put it in chat. Those are our 3. And let's start from the bottom of glory, which would be the lowest glory, Hound. What do you do?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go directly after the implacable, and I'm going to start a
Nice.
bombing run. So it's a burn to enter. Let me mark that. Okay, and then it's a call sign,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is a close assault, so I'll bring in that roll for a D8. You said this was tactical, so that's another D8. I'll spend another burn to bring in a second domain,
Mhm.
and I'll bring in command and basically tell the rest of them I'm headed in to take care of the implacable and draw the ties off towards me.
Nice.
And I'll spend a burn for my bombs. Oh, I'm sorry, I charge for my bombs. So that's a D4. Okay. And I think I'll burn. I'm going to burn a bond with Star Dancer, which is a D6, right?
No,
As
it's
I
a D8.
say, it's a
D8.
D8.
You get their call sign. Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
get her call sign.
And I think I'll do that as I tell her, I'm headed towards the ship just in case you decide to land this time. And I think that's about all I can pull in. So that's a lot of dice. So let's see what that looks
Cool.
like.
You are facing a. Sorry, as I grab this, you are facing a 15.
Ooh,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just I think I'm gonna spend another charge and for shields and add another D4 in there. In that case, a 15, and I'm gonna roll that and see what that comes out to be. Okay. So I got an 8
17.
and a 3.
Oh wow.
And a 6.
I
17.
think that's only 14.
No, you
have
get your
8
D4
to 6.
charge.
You get 8, 6, and your best of your D4s.
Oh, you're right.
17.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Nice. So 17, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, cool. So we're going to go narration, glory up. So whoever has the highest roll is the one. The thing you were a success. Dang it! I stuck that roll in the wrong area. But you did not suffer. You did achieve. You're going to get some glory. It's all about how much. Let's move up the glory chain, which means that next is Buttercup.
Yeah, I'm going to give my erstwhile brothers at arms a little surprise.
Ooh, what's that? You heading for Implacable or?
No, I'm going after the X-wings that are in pursuit. The TIE fighters in pursuit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm gonna bust their asses. They don't expect us.
No, they don't see you coming.
I have my call sign. I have my role as an interceptor. This is the tactical domain. I'm going to burn the X-wing squad cannons.
Mm-hmm.
Rockwell, you going to try to take out some of those planetary cannon?
Yes, that is Rakul's plan.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, and I'll bring Rocco's call sign in then. So that's a D10, 2 D8s, a D6, and a D4. Looks like.
Nice. You
I
need to
do a
beat
burn.
14 because I rolled like poop.
And I'll throw in a second burn because you never can tell.
Do you burn a bond and two burn and a charge?
I burned a bond to charge, and I used a bond to charge and an extra burn. For tactical.
Nice. See how it goes.
Yep.
Looks like a 16.
16.
Nice. Sweet. So yeah, we'll hit narration in just a bit. We'll go up the glory chain to Star Dancer. Which of the 3 threats are you heading towards?
Terrestrial forces.
Sweet.
You thought I wasn't going to board a Star Destroyer? I can land on the ground.
Okay.
You're going to land?
Yeah, if we gain control of the terrestrial cannons. See, this is what we did last time. I took over the space station and targeted them at our enemies.
Yeah, they probably didn't have quite as many hundreds of soldiers down there.
No, I'm very... Look, the mechanics of this game are wonky.
The mechanics of this game are wild. They're designed.
So yeah, as I'm like zipping through, like I'm gonna like try to burst through to like make my way into the atmosphere, trying to like move my way into a position to like take on some of the terrestrial forces. It's weird only having 6 ships, so it can't have like backup or fictional.
No, you got backup. Who do you want? You want Fuzz, or do you want Fuzz or Tags as your wingman?
Tags.
All right, Tags is your wingman. It's all right, Star Dancer. Let's do it. We're gonna get our names on the placard some way.
All right. So, do you roll first, or is it already
I
the
got
15?
it. I'm rolling right now. 7 6s, 7 and 8 is 15.
Yeah,
for you to beat.
All right. So, let's see. D8. I'm infiltrating. And also boarding, I guess. Is that boarding? I don't know. When you're landing and trying to do a ground assault.
Sure.
Okay.
You're boarding the command center.
Yep. Let's see. Operations makes sense. Do another D8 for that. I'll spend a burn to add my command, so add 2D10.
Ooh.
Let's see. Spend a sensors charge to spook their sensors and my go-to, make them think, obviously on their side, to add a D4. And I think I'm good with that.
All right.
Is there an adjective?
Yes, this was
or did we already do that? Or is there?
It's okay. You had to mark burn to contest. So
okay.
If you've marked your burn to get in, it is a dire situation what you were doing.
Okay. Roll. Let's see. 8 and 7.
Okay.
That's a tie, so
meter beat. So you are
15
successful
total.
with your 15 exactly. And now it is Rakgul's turn. I think you said you were headed for the terrestrial forces as well. Do you still intend on doing that, or?
Yeah. So I think I think Rakgul, we jump out of hyperspace. Rakgul sees the TIE fighters after the X-wing and does the S-foils right up on the B-wing. The little wings come out and is about to turn into that when R5 starts squealing that Janella is going down all by herself to the planet's surface in an A-wing. Actually, you have the backup of Tags, right? So that yeah, but still, R5's like, this is impossible. They'll never survive. And no, R5, darn it, they're gonna be fine. And all this math starts popping up. I'm like, darn it, R5. So
Never tell me the odds.
I don't like these odds. Fine. And so Rakghoul like turns quickly as probably as Buttercup like flies right over him. And where perhaps Janella's going for a more covert approach, Rakghoul is maybe drawing all the forces and laying down a whole lot of fire to try and pull them away, so that she can do her thing. So that is a D8 for name. Combat info, I'm going to pull in the D8 for that.
Yep, you already have your tactical because that was the domain of the conflict.
Domain is tactical. I will burn. Actually, you know what? I feel this is duty, so I will burn a charge to bring in systems, because I'm very quickly assessing where I need to hit them for weak points. I will burn. I'll burn the weapons tag just to drag in some extra firepower. I will also use a bond with Stardancer as we send encrypted communications back and forth. I get her call sign, and then I'm also using Guardian. There's a lot of D8s.
A lot of D8s.
A lot of D8s, but I feel like this is the first time the Guardian tag has really applied, so I'm going to use it. All right, here we go. 15, right? Is the
actually I rolled even worse for you. It is a mere 13 that you have to beat. I rolled
the
2d10.
the same trait rolls every time.
Yeah, that when I checked in with
okay.
people who've run ag and stuff, they said they roll every time. So
okay,
gotcha. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll beat it handily. We'll find out. Oh, 7. 14. And you rolled a what, Rich?
Squeak, a 13. You barely squeaked by, but you got it. So, first thing is, Hound, you get the D10 advantage die from winning the clash. No one suffers. So, other than having to roll the single D6 and Stardancer taking a hit, you guys have prevailed in the clash. Now we will quickly, if there's any narration people want to add in, just got time, so don't feel like you have to rush. But Stardancer, what does it look like as you successfully infiltrate and board?
Did I roll the lowest?
You actually did.
Oh, okay.
I rolled the lowest. I rolled it 14.
Oh, Rakghoul 14.
I was like,
sorry.
I got a 15.
Rakghoul, you get to narrate first as you're coming into.
So Rakghoul like hits the atmosphere, and I don't. What kind of planet is this? It's like a.
Oh, great question. It is a volcanic planet in the inner rim.
Awesome. So Rakghoul.
It's volcanoes. It's ash from its volcanoes polluted the skies and making them hard to navigate.
Nice. So yeah, it's just like that black cloud. Rakghoul is flying by instruments with R5. Comes out. There's like a volcanic burst, barely spins away from it, and then just starts laying into the Imperial installation. And all of these TIE fighters kind of fly up from their little pads to engage Rakghoul, and Rakghoul is going in and out of the clouds to lose them and then do bombing runs on the Imperial installation.
Awesome. Love it. That's really, really cool. Then next is Stardancer. So what does your boarding action look like?
Oh yeah, so like as Rakghoul is doing all these bombing runs, distracting the TIE fighters so much that like Tag and I are able to like, like dive in, land as we rush out, obviously like our blasters blasting, fighting off I guess troopers and whatnot. As and like we managed to like, obviously that's we managed to get a foothold in as we like knock out some. We're gonna, of course, got to steal armor.
Wow. Yes. So you Stardancer is now dressing up as a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Tag's like trying to fit it over her leg.
Make it work.
This is not going to work. Let's do the Chewie routine.
Yep.
Sweet. That's fantastic and very, very, very great. So we'll move up the chain to Buttercup as you were Yeah, you're heading against the Implacable itself.
No, I went against the TIE
Oh.
fighters.
Crap. That's right. You were going against a squad of TIE fighters. So
I pop out. I see the TIE fighters harassing the X-wing. So yeah, flip sideways, hit the burners, and just pounce on them from behind. Just fly straight through them all all cannons blazing. Two of the TIE fighters light up like fireworks, and the other two scatter to avoid the same fate. X-wing, you're clear to warp. He's radio to the pilot.
Yeah. It's awesome. So you've
What's your name?
Space. He says Donos, Lieutenant Min Donos.
All right, Lieutenant, you're done. Please get yourself back in one piece. See you on the flip side unless we don't.
Cool. And then let's move up to the highest, which is Hound.
So I was actually going after the destroyer. Yeah,
my bad. Sorry.
And I think that basically, we broke out of warp, and Hound headed towards basically we were taking some flak, and I headed in towards the Implacable, and it basically, we see the Y-wing as it's coming in, and we see all the turrets aiming at the Y-wing, and we see it, its shields getting hit and going down, and I get in close enough, and I start a strafing run, and I drop those bombs, and those are the big bombs that make the loud noise, the boo. And
nice. Wow.
And we see this, across, we see explosions across the front of the Implacable, and we see like electricity arcing, and like the lights flicker and then come back on.
Nice. Oh, that's totally dope. Sweet. So we will now move to threat. So the threat level in this enemy, the GM lashes out, describing the potential disasters that could happen. In this phase, each pilot chooses either to defend against a disaster or seize control of the battle. The winner of the seize contest chooses the domain. So the winner of the seize contest will choose the domain of the finale and the stakes, and the ultimate fate of the opponent. So as you guys are attacking the terrestrial forces, causing a bunch of havoc down on the ground level, Buttercup, you've engaged some of the ties. The Implacable, of course, has more than just those 4 ties. They did lose a number, taking out 11 X-Wing fighter pilots. So here's how the situation changes. First, Captain Juno Eclipse. She had command over a particular ship, and I don't recall it. So give me just a second as I look that up. Just take a moment. I should have done that earlier. I apologize. So,
which command did she have that you're asking?
She had
the Salvation.
The Salvation. Thank you. Cool. So she's aboard the Salvation, and she brings the Salvation in close because the Star Destroyer, of course, has some heavy armaments. So she brings it in close, and that is one of the things under threat because she's trying to take as much of the brunt of the Implacables attacks so that they won't be able to focus their turrets and turbo lasers on you guys to make some bombing runs. So that is the first thing under threat is the Salvation and Captain Juno Eclipse, because if you guys can't bring some heat off of her, she's just going to take the Salvation straight into the Implacable. She's not going to jump to light speed. No one's even thought of that idea yet. It's going to take like 30 years before anyone does something that crazy. So that's the first thing under threat. The second thing under threat is that the Implacable is launching the rest of its ties which has the rest of the squad that Buttercup you had worked alongside. And I think the threat is that they are going to be targeting after you specifically, that the Chiss, say this like THX 412, recognized your flight patterns, and they are targeting you specifically.
No, they don't have to recognize my flight patterns. This is Rebel Pilot Buttercup to all Imperial forces involved. Come kiss my ass.
So those are the two things under threat: is the Salvation itself. Oh, sorry, three things under threat: Salvation itself, Buttercup is under threat, and then while Mendonos is plugging in his coordinates, the what is the tractor beam? Is that the captain is trying to tractor beam Lieutenant Mendonos's X-wing to take him out. So those are the three things under threat. I will put it in chat. So Salvation, Buttercup, and Lieutenant Donos. There we go. So let's go from the roles from before. So Rakul, where are you headed?
I will defend the Salvation.
Okay.
Build that pool, or
let's go ahead and have you build the pool. Yeah. Oh, and I should probably tell you guys what the domain is, right?
the domain and the dire perilous daunting.
Yes, I do all those things. I think this is a command thing because there's so many things going on at once that the challenge is the domain is command, and the threat is daunting. You will have to spend charge to contest because I want more damage to ships.
Excellent. Okay, so I will burn my devotion because I'm, protecting Juno Eclipse. So that is call sign. Trying to think of which my roles might apply here. I'm gonna pull in engineering. So I'm like, as I'm flying back out of the planet's atmosphere, I'm like sending tactical information to the Salvation about like, no, you're getting too close. The ships are gonna, if you're trying to ram them, you're doing it wrong.
Nice. The implacable, because it's like focusing so hard on the Salvation, this challenge is great, Rakul. I rolled a 10 on one of those D10s. You're going to meet or beat an 18.
Nice. I will probably fail. I will bring in systems, and I can burn multiple times, right? To bring in other things.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Bring in multiple.
So bring in tactical. Saving that for the finale. Power. I got to dump a lot of power into my ship to blow out of Atmo and back at him.
That'll give you a charge for sure.
And Hound's already there, so I'm going to burn a bond with Hound to pull in his die as well. And I'm just going to be like, Hound, take out the shields. We got to take out the shields. And then I will use my Rising Star. That's cool. What? An 18?
Yeah, you got to meet or beat an 18.
Okay, well, it's not impossible.
I mean, the best news about that is that that's the glory that's available to whoever rolls the best.
Bam. That is a
17.
Oh, man. I suffer. You suffer. Okay, cool. So it's spin charge to contest. Don't forget that. And then, then you...
You mean burn a charge without getting a D4? Is that what that means?
Yes. The expression charges, right?
Did you spend burn, Greg?
I did.
Did you get your advance?
I haven't reached one above the burnout yet. I still had above the line left.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
How's that working?
Now
When
I
you
know.
say spend charge to contest, do you mean spend a charge without getting the D4?
Is it a
Correct.
charged expression or is
Yeah,
it?
it's-
Oh, okay.
it's a
Gotcha.
charge.
you had
It's
to
a
spend two
charge.
charge.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
not
no, that's
charged
fine.
to charge
to
I'll
get
burn the
the
gyro spin then.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're basically burning out all the charges on your ship. Please roll a d6 because someone suffered, and then roll another d6 because you suffered, and then you guys had to spin to contest. So this is 2 d6s coming at.
Okay, that's a 6. That's June Eclipse, if I'm not mistaken.
Or
Or no, that's
no, it's tags.
tags. Oh, all right.
6 and a 6, right? Did you roll 2d6 or
No,
He's
that's
only
just
rolled one.
1d6. That's 1d6.
Ooh,
And
I was scared.
then- Oh, Hound.
Hound is taking his first hit. Oh my. Oh, so Tags is down there, and I think she gets shot by a stormtrooper or something, right? It's hectic and crazy. And then Hound, you're going to take a few shots, so you suffer. That is delightful. I mean, for dramatic purposes, sweet. Let's go to our next person. That'll resolve. So your roll, if I remember correctly, was a 17. And you got 1 for suffering. All right. Let's move up the chain from previous rolls. So the next person after Rakul is Star Dancer.
Yep. So I want to try and seize, because I'm down on the ground. I can't really defend against any of those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go for the seizing.
What's the roll? 'Cause it's different, right?
Yes, it is. I've got my terrestrial forces here, so terrestrial defenses versus Star Dancer. Oh, nope, 8 and 8's 16.
Oh, right. You had a 10. You rolled the 10 last time.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. 16. So D8 call sign. You already said it's a command domain, so that's a
It
D10.
is.
So I'm still infiltrating, and pretty does close assault count as I'm fighting through this?
Absolutely, it counts.
Okay.
That feels like right at home.
Okay.
When else
2
would you
more
use it?
D8s.
Go for it.
I will totally spend a burn getting an advance. So I'll mark that down and add 2 more D8 from my operations.
You are so close to being burnt out.
Yeah, but I also have 3 charged expressions. So
I mean, you're fine. You're fine. You're gonna do great. I'm pulling for you. Thank God for those charge expressions.
so is when you fill in the last box, you are washed out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I should not just go straight for it. All right.
You
Maybe I
should
will.
not.
I don't know. Might be fun to get captured.
Ooh.
Let's see. I will add my reckless because come on, like this is so insane.
Yeah, it's reckless.
So it's a D6.
And you did spend your charge to contest?
I already did that.
Okay, cool, thank you.
So I'll spend another charge as like we're finding like one of those panels, so we're trying to slice it to spoof security alarms in different areas, so like we can get an easier breakthrough to try to blow this place basically.
Nice. Meanwhile, Tags is like, so is it true that you hooked up with Sherwood?
Yeah.
Because he's super focused,
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's just that easy?
I mean, it wasn't that easy. And then I will spend a bond with Cutter. My thoughts of Cutter helping me out, inspiring me. I'm like, but doing this for her. Like, thinking of all the other places that have been still under Empire control. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't that easy. He's very hard to talk to.
No, I mean for him to get with you. Is that it?
Huh? Oh, I mean, yeah. Did you want to? Maybe when this is done?
After this, sounds good.
9 and 8 plus 4 is more than 18.
Which charge did you use?
I mean,
9 and 4, 21.
I used the sensors charge, but
to contest, right?
Oh no, I used Afterburner to contest, but then I spent Sensor Jammer for slicing.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Sorry.
Sweet. There's a lot of charges getting burned up. Sweet. So you are successful, and that is pretty fantastic. So we move up the line from Stardancer to Buttercup. What do you want to your threat? What do you want to do?
Well, it's a pretty straightforward decision. They're gunning for me. I'm perfectly happy to return the compliment. So I'm gonna power past them and do that trick I practiced with the X-wing, which is to flip it and hit the burners. In this case, it comes out as a loop. In order to deal with the fact that they're a little more maneuverable than the X-wing are. And this is, I got my call sign, I've got interceptor. This is a command domain. I'm going to spend burn to bring in tactical, because this totally is. And I have the guns on them, so I'm going to spend that to they don't have shields and I have bigger cannon than they do, so I'm going to show them the difficulty of their ways. And fighter tactical doctrine is something I know awfully well. TIE fighter tactical doctrine, so I'm going to use that against them.
Nice.
Okay.
Bevy of dice. Let me
What's
go
the
ahead
target
and
number?
yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So they were 2d6 and 2d8, but the none other than Admiral Apwar Tridget is spending his D10 advantage die to inspire them. I say, bring me her head on a pike. Oh, and that was a 10. Oh yeah, he's really good at this. So
in that case, I'm going to spend my advantage die to ping Buttercup and send her trajectory from my advantage, so you can add a D10 to yours as well.
Roger that. Also, what's Tridget worth, a D10? Because I'm spending my bond with him.
Oh, nice. So what is a bond worth? Oh yeah, it'd be a D10. D10. Yeah, you're spending the bond to pull it in his name. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pulling his calls. I'm pulling his call sign. Hey, hey, Tridget, this one's for you.
Oh,
Or should I say these, however many there are for you?
ooh.
And I say, and I'm saying, guys, always time to change sides, guys. Last chance.
Oh yeah, I think the chief said
horrible taunting. Okay, so that's 3d8, 3d10, excuse me.
Wow.
D8, 2d64. I need an 18 now.
It's amazing how much those D4s help push things over the top with you guys.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome that he used his D10 advantage die and then you pulled his call side of a D10 in. It's awesome.
What did he get?
10 on your D10.
I got a 21.
Wow. Dang it. I got a little excited and cocky about my 18. Rock cool. You are up next.
Hey, as long as once he got involved personally.
No, I think Hound is next. I'm doing the salvation.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Hound, you're up.
Right.
I got all excited.
So we have defended against the ties, defended against the what we haven't done is we haven't defended against the tractor beam. So I'm going to defend against the tractor beam. And this is me going against the Imperial Star Destroyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's its name again?
The Implacable.
I'm going against the Implacable to try and take out its tractor beam and protect the Salvation. So that's
And I'll say, and in replying to Hound's thing, I'll say, Hound, the power source for that tractor beam is 86 meters behind and 3 meters to the left of where the beam comes out of the hull.
fantastic. That's great. So I'm gonna
Because I served on that fucker. I know where every bolt is.
So my call sign is a D6. I'm gonna use my commando close assault for a D8. You said this was command, so that's a D10. I'm gonna burn tactical. Let's put in a burn for tactical, which is another D8. I'm gonna spend my bond with Buttercup for her giving me directions. I'm gonna spend my bond with Rakghoul because he's right there with me, trying to clear out the Salvation and make sure the Salvation makes it out. And that's a D8. Let's see. I had to spend charge to get in here. I'll spend another charge for weapons. So that's a D4.
You've got to beat or meet a 17.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend my, let's see. I'm gonna spend my as expected, my D6. And I'm going to spend another burn to bring in I've done command and tactical, and this is systems, whatever, in order to make the targeting of where the tractor beam is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this isn't going to be easy. So I'm going to roll that. And that is a 14, 18.
Wow, squeak. Oh man, that is
What
crazy.
did I have to beat?
You had to beat a 17, meter beat a 17. So you got it. You do not suffer. Whew. Okay. So with Rakghoul, is there any more flavor?
Yeah, no, I think a little flavor is just that. So Rakghoul comes screaming out of the atmosphere and is too busy barking orders at the Salvation and trying to take control of the tactical situation that he doesn't see this big ion bolt come from the ISD. It smacks the B-wing on the side, and he's able to get control back. And that's when he realizes that R5 is in the back, and his motivator has popped up, and there's a cloud of smoke, and he's just going, wow, 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 wow. Yes.
Yeah, so R5 takes the hit. That is pretty nasty. Poor R5. So moving up the chain for Hound, you prevailed in the threat here. So you successfully defended the Salvation. What does that look like?
Yeah, so I think what this looks like is...
How was going after the tractor beam?
Yeah. I was going after the tractor beam.
You successfully... I don't know why I keep flipping those. I apologize.
That's fine. I was going in, and I think basically we see the Y-wing. There's this row of damage, and it slips over the edge of the prow of the Intrepid, of the Star Destroyer, and is aiming at an area where the tractor beam, at where the beam's coming out, and gets the message from Buttercup, and retargets very quickly to that new area, punches the button, and we see the tractor beam has just grabbed a hold of that X-wing. And as he hits the button to launch the weapon, it explodes. The tractor beam sputters, and we see the X-wing kind of speed off.
Nice. Yeah, and then Lieutenant Mendona's finally, with just one operating engine, is able to engage his hyperdrive, and he takes off. Sweet. That is beautiful. All right. So let's see. Buttercup had the highest challenge, so we'll have Star Dancer narrate. I think you've seized control of the terrestrial. So what does that look like?
Yeah, like so a lot of hit and run tactics as we're like, peeking through the wall. Maybe some like she's been working on it some more like, this is or like they're just straining really hard and like force slam some people against the wall. As like we make our way through like the center, like to the command center, and then like we're just like gunning them down basically because they're Imperials and they're trying to shoot us down. So it's like, all right, let's get to work on either destroying this thing or retargeting. I think destroying is probably smarter. I don't know.
Yeah. Destroying sounds good.
Like overload the stuff.
Yeah, overload everything. And so, yeah, I'm kind of imagining it similar to like with that Imperial base on Mandalorian, where you like turn off some of the safeties on the cooling systems to have the sucker overheat. And when you head back, like, do you guys get back into your A-wing?
I'm sure. I mean, she probably gets back in her X-wing, right?
Yeah. I was asking. Sorry, when you head back, do you end up getting in the A-wing again, or?
Yeah, I mean, like, just
of course, if you got the opportunity,
it's easier, but also the mechanics makes it way easier to just have both our own ships.
True. All right, and then Buttercup, you were headed against the TIE fighters, so
yeah. And yeah, as it, the TIE fighters do, their classic, spread, for coming as a cluster, and then they do this classic sort of hemisphere spread, that they do when engaging, smaller targets, and I hit the burners. I fly straight through the cloud, flip the X-wing, and
nice,
and open up them all on behind. Raked several of them. One of them explodes. Two of them take propulsor hits, and start to spin out, and then it just becomes a furball. At one point, I have 2 TIE fighters on my butt, and I hit an auxiliary control and pop a couple of a couple of mines that drop out of the back of the X-wing. Little homing mines, and those 2 pilots are very surprised. It's like, yes, boy, you guys have the numbers on me. You got the maneuverability on me. You really got everything on me, except that what you don't have is the fact that that son of a bitch killed my brother, and so I'm fucking immortal until he dies. Okay, nice. And let me prove it. And the X-wing gets raked a couple of times for superficial damage, and just blows one after another of them out of the sky until the rest of them just the remaining few just take off in a cloud to regroup.
Nice, and they don't have hyperdrive, so they're gonna try to limp their way back to the implacable. Yeah, that's not
go back to Mother and tell her I'm coming.
Okay, so we have 18 glory. I can't remember on a tie. Does anyone remember if
never come up?
Never come up.
So
we both get everything.
Yeah, we'll just give you both 18 and half for Hound.
And I choose the domain. The domain will be tactical, since a lot of you are decent at tactical. So
yeah.
And the stakes are destroying the implacable, I guess. It's hard to
sounds
hard
right.
to figure out what stakes are. Yeah. So
stakes are destroying the implacable. That sounds amazing. I will make 1 roll. So the implacable is everyone.
Sorry, what was the domain? Command?
Tactical.
Tactical.
right? You chose tactical?
Yep.
Okay.
Three
Here
of
we
you
go.
are good at that. So
I'm rolling one for everybody because that's my way I understand that the final stage of the battle goes in finale. So here we go. A 6 + 8, 14 is all you have to beat. Dadgum. All right.
I'm going to open festivities by saying this is Starfighter Layla Trevani, call sign Buttercup, erstwhile call sign CX37, calling on Implacable to surrender.
Ooh, yeah, that's ballsy. I love it. I think
Or I
that
will take you out my own self. But fortunately, I don't have to.
Buttercup.
Because I have friends.
I don't care about your friends. You face a Star Destroyer. We destroyed 11 X-Wings. You'll be nothing more than a pittance to us.
Yeah, well, a bunch of shrapnel didn't get to make it back to your hangar base this time. So let's see how you do, Admiral.
all right.
You farking son of a bitch.
Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and have, it seems appropriate to have Buttercup lead off, build your roll, and let's see how it goes.
All
Is
right.
this dire or perilous or?
Oh, thank you. Oh, so
Yep.
bad.
As you type.
Yeah, I think it's dire. I want another suffer coming along. Buttercup, roll that D6.
All right.
Three. Hound. The second mark for Hound.
I've got a good idea there.
Oh, good. Awesome. I love it.
spend a bond.
Can you spend a bond to reroll?
That's true. You can
No,
spend
you
a
can
bond
spend a
and someone
bond
will
to
take
just negate the damage.
It just costs
Oh.
a bond.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
if you want to work that in,
Yeah, no,
Steve,
I
if
think
you
I'll spend a
So
bond.
Hound has to spend. Hound has
Yeah,
to spend.
Hound
a
has
bond.
to spend the bond. It's up to the player if he wants to
Okay.
spend the bond.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll do that. Yeah.
He can spend a bond with me because I am.
Yeah.
I am taunting.
Okay.
So
Sounds
it's
good.
like, so how about I think so it's like as I take a few of the cannon shots meant for him come after me as the Admiral goes, no, target X-Wing.
All right, build your pool. Let's go for it.
All right, I am Buttercup. God damn it. And this is close combat the way I like it. It is tactical. And we are going to spend a burn for the commands, which is the direction I'm giving to the Implacable. I have saved up my torpedoes just for this.
Nice.
And can I, because this is the last thing, can I have a bond with Raph? My brother?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then I'm saying, okay, Raph, look, it's all yours.
Nice.
I can't get you back, but at least you can have a whack at the one who he didn't pull the trigger, but he would have if he could have. Since the best I got, I hope it's good enough for you, kid.
Nice.
And she kind of opens her eyes real wide like you do when you're trying not to mess up.
Nice.
Okay, so the
Let's say that Raph's call sign die is a D8. Does that seem fair?
so D10 2d8. Yeah, yes, d10, 2d8. And I'm going to say that I'm going to also burn one first from Star Dancer, because I'm going to say that Star Dancer's a power thing fortuitously blows as making our close approach to make things, so that makes things a little easier as a weapon system cuts out on the ground.
Okay.
Okay. T10, 3d8s, 2d6, and a d4. And that's a 15, which is adequate, if not flashing.
Yeah, it is exactly adequate because I rolled like poop. So you need to beat that 14. You got a 15. That's fantastic. Let's jump
I'll
to...
go next.
Yeah, I was going to
Because
ask for you.
running out of time.
Yeah,
So,
running out of time.
All right. As I'm like zooming, Tag and I are zooming up out of the atmosphere. People are blasting and taking a couple of hits and and like some stuff sparking as I like build up the dice pool to start running down the Star Destroyer, blasting, shooting, pew 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 pew. All right. Call sign D8. It's not so roll of close assault D8. Domain is tactical. That's a D6. D6. I will spend my power charge to add 2d4. I will. Let's see. D4. D4. I will burn my bond with Runa for a D8. Because Tag won't shut up about them. Then I will spend a burn to add my command domain of 2d10, because as I'm getting hit, like there's some crazy malfunction in the A-wing as like the hyperdrive course is set into motion. I'm like, what the flark? As like you pew pew pew. So
That's awesome.
Then I'll roll. Not good. Oh no, there's a 7 and a 6.
Yeah, there's
plus
13.
3. Yeah,
7, 6,
I
13,
missed the 7.
3.
So.
Yeah.
16.
So 16 is enough. Good. Let's move to Hound.
Okay. So this is call sign D6, close assault D8, tactical D8. I'm going to spend burn for 2d10, bond with Rakghoul, and bond with Janella for both D8s. Let's see. Oh, I need to clear all that from the last roll. And that is a D6, D8, D10, D10, D8, D8, D8. I think that's right. And I'm going to roll.
What's the second D10? Just curious.
From the advance of whenever I spent the burn to come in, that got me an advance, and the advance is whenever you spend a burn, you get a second dice instead of.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nice.
And what did I get?
Oh, that's
16?
a lot of ones, but
16.
still 2 8s. 16 and no D4, so 16 is your total. That is good. And then Rakghoul.
So Rakghoul, D8 for thing, D8 for engineering. This will make sense in a second. Tactical is also a D8, a D10 for systems. That's a burn. And D10 again for composite laser for sure. D4. And then I'm going to burn Hound and Star Dancer as well.
Gonna burn them.
8s. Boom, boom. Okay. And yeah, so I think Rakghoul is like getting close because the Star Destroyer is like just right out of the atmosphere, right? And I think as Rakghoul is powering up the composite laser, he hears Janella's like voice inside his head, like force voice inside his head. And she says, no, wait, turn around. And my hand moves and I turn the stick around. So I'm pointing at the volcano right below the Star Destroyer. And I'm going to hit it with the composite laser. So here we go. That is a 15, 16, 17, 18,
20.
19, 20.
20.
Wow, that's a heck of a roll. No one suffers in the finale. Everyone was successful because of the literal worst roll of the battle, but that's okay. Fantastic. So just gonna hand it over. I think if everybody's cool with it, and because of time, Rakul, narrate, how does this end out?
Yeah, so I think Buttercup probably gets her vengeance on the Star Destroyer. As Rakul turns around and hits that volcano with the composite laser, there's just this eruption from below and gets out just in time as this shot of magma comes out of the atmosphere and hits the bottom of the Star Destroyer, and the whole ship starts to break apart.
Nice. Oh, that's wicked. Yeah, and there are a few TIE fighters that were running from Buttercup, running towards the Implacable. They see the Implacable about to go out, and they just veer off from that and start heading down into the atmosphere, hoping that they're gonna escape all of this. But then the Implacable starts to fall, like it turns, does that thing of it turn. We hear the klaxons as they're on board, and a bunch of escape pods start to come out, and the Star Destroyer heads towards the volcanoes and crashes into Graven 7, which allows everyone to enjoy a moment of your success. Before you go, is there from your D10 commendation, what is the commendation that Janella claims from Captain Eclipse?
She got lost in space. Remember, I burned out.
You burned out.
That's my narrative ending. Like the hyperspace activated, and she's like,
I love it.
Where am I?
Get thrown into hyperspace we don't even know. An extemporaneous or a posthumous commendation is getting your name is put on the little plaque for one of the starfighters who went AWOL, dead. We don't know.
I mean, everybody heard me over the comms like, I don't know what's going on. I can't stop this.
Missing in action.
It was great. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Joe, for playing with us. I know you need to go. So if you have any stars and wishes, feel free to hit us up via email. Maybe just stars, like MIA, but no.
Hard to wish for our next question stuff. So
sweet. It's cool. So let's quickly go through our R&R. If anybody, do we want to do R&R? What do we want to do? Do we want to just like narrate epilogues? Because everything mechanical after this point seems like it's
okay with epilogues. Yeah.
All right. So let's do some epilogues. That sounds fun.
Do we want to total everything up? What was the glory that
sure.
got?
We should do that. So I need to, let's see. The highest roll went to
I think Janella would have got the Dark Lighter trophy if had it not been for her jumping into hyperspace.
I know. If she hadn't burned out. Instead, she burned out. Yeah, the Star Dancer had 115. You, Rakul, win the trophy. That's pretty great. 115 for Janella. All right. Hound, you ended with 88. Ooh, you got up to a D8. And it looks like you already moved yours over. Did you move yours over as well, Brandon? Oh, yep. 59. So you end up with 92.
Not bad for missing a mission.
Not bad at all. Wait, did you? Somebody moved your thing. Yeah. Boop. There we go. Now it's back. Awesome. Let's do some. Greg, I wish for Rakul to go last in epilogues because you should probably work in winning the Dark Lighter trophy. And so let's start off with Hound. What is your epilogue?
Yeah, so I'm going to jump forward quite a bit in the future. And I think we see the station, and Rakgul's there with another group of pilots, new trainees, and he's an instructor. He's one of the instructors that stayed on, and I think that there's several dark lighter trophies that are listed on the wall, and then there's several missing in action, and I think we have Janella in the list of missing in action, and we see Rakgul and as the first dark lighter trophy, and there's others after that are kind of obscured because you can't quite see it and everything like that. And he's calling all of the trainees to attention and says, pay attention, not all of you will be heroes like these on the wall.
Nice. What about Buttercup?
So Buttercup is in the commander's office. Eclipse.
Nice.
And they've obviously been talking for a moment. And there's a bottle on the table with 2 drinks, and Buttercup has a swig and says, well, I didn't think it was going to happen, but I have to admit that you kept your promise. I got my shot.
Nice.
And took it. So now what? So now what, cousin? Where are you going to send me next?
Nice. So it's Buttercup is full in, right? She's ready for missions. She's graduated. She's part of the New Republic. That is awesome.
Kind of a special. She's a special agent, I think.
I like it.
Someone you send into close escort insertion. People inserted into dangerous territory and things like that. And then Buttercup takes off of her pendant and pops the holo, looks at the image of her brother one last time, and puts it away in her footlocker.
Nice. And then what is the epilogue for our Dark Lighter trophy winner?
I think there's like an Imperial base on some far off rim world, and it's just like some stormtroopers are standing around watching the skies, and then there's just this whole squadron of mixed starfighters jumps in, and they're kind of squinting in the background. One of them takes off their helmet, and there's these like very well camouflaged starfighters are screaming in on the base, and it's just Rakgul Squadron, check in. Rakgul 1, Rakgul 2. And it's, Shortbecca is there, and yes. I think who else on these lovely NPCs? Tags is definitely part of it.
Yay!
And I think Birdie has been demoted and checks in as Rakgul 12. And they're just pulling this bombing run off, and it's just the whole Imperial station. Rakgul is just, a squadron commander now, out in the business. And R5 is, of course, spinning and twirling.
Sweet. Those are great epilogues. Thank you guys so much. That will bring the series to a close. If we got a little bit of extra time, so if folks want to hand out a few stars, we'll do that, and then everybody get to hit the rest of their Saturday. Who'd like to go first for stars?
I'll go first.
Go.
Yep. So basically, my first star, of course, is to you, Rich, which is to try such a challenging and you messed around and rebuilt the character keeper a number of times and made it a lot easier for us. And if you hadn't been taking the heavy load from us from tracking all the glory and all that kind of stuff, it would have been a lot more difficult for me. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And it's always nice to try new systems and to try things out and see how they work. I want to say I really liked Rakgul's plan delivered by Janella for the volcano at the very end. That was great. I didn't picture that coming. And I liked Buttercup's backstory of being from Alderaan and family perished and being an ex-TIE fighter. That all tied in so well. It was all very good.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Nice. Thanks, Stephen.
Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, yeah, no. I'm going to add in the credit to Rich for dealing with a numerically challenging system and so many little details that the games master has to more or less arbitrarily put together. And I have no idea how you do game balance on this. And of course you always bring the genre, which is fantastic. I love the volcano. I love Hound's usual take the bit in the teeth approach to fighting, and the chance to thank you very much for the flashback to the Implacable. That really told me what I was dealing with and who I was for this last episode.
Good. I'm glad that paid off.
I'll go last for stars. Or next to last. Rick, you get to do stars, of course.
I do.
You do. As everyone has said, Rich, thank you for rebuilding this aircraft as we fly it. It's a heck of a task, and you did an excellent job. I know you said that one of your frustrations is that you feel like the NPCs aren't getting, that there's not a lot of time for them in the system, but I do really like this roster of NPCs. I did feel like we were part of a big squadron that was complex and a family. So I think we were successful there. Big props to Steven. I loved Hound. I hope Hound shows up in future games, being the surly pilot, and always going for the most direct attack. And I loved your commendations that you went for, like, as expected was so good. And you routinely ask for, like, no, I don't want to get good commendations. So that was excellent. And then Brandon, yeah, I loved Buttercup's story. I'm glad that we got to kind of get there at the end. And I really enjoyed, I felt like it was a very, that's the most, like, the very on genre. That's what the story I was wanting to tell with this system, right? Is these broken pilots. So I like that a lot. I liked being the fresh-faced kid in it too. So,
yeah. Thank you, Greg. Lots of stars. Star to in absentia Joe for playing such an oddball and being able to, like, play and be good-natured about folks who are like, you don't belong here, and leaning into that. I thought that was really interesting, especially at the outset for Star Dancer. Also enjoyed how Joe always made the character trying to, like, play morale officer, and that was really fun and very Zeltron, like super Zeltron. Stephen, I really enjoyed Hound. I haven't seen you play a hard ass quite like that in a while, and it's always a pleasure. You're really good at it. So thank you for leaning into that, because it was a delight to have somebody like that. It made it feel like it gave it a backbone right? Because that's the hard thing about military RPGs for indie gamers is like everybody wants to be like different, and I'm going to pick an A-wing and a Y-wing and a B-wing, and I'm going to talk about like we could serve if we want, or we could just leave. And Hound was the one of like, this is, you felt very military. You were like the Saving Private Ryan. I can't remember the name of the actor, but the sergeant who served underneath Tom Hanks's character, who's just like hard as nails and really, really cool. And I appreciated that. That was neat. That was necessary. It gave us something to hang off of. Brandon, Buttercup's story was compelling. I've really enjoyed the way that we were able to build on it rather than just like an info dump at the beginning. We got to unveil it. We got to peel away some layers. And thank you for appreciating the flashback so that I could like push it like right at the end so we could have some payoff. And you leaned so hard into that it was good. Like it wasn't this out of nowhere faceless Imperial. There was teeth, there were stakes, there was something good there. And Greg, I'm so excited that Rakul won the trophy because he was like, I didn't think he was going to win the trophy at all, but man, it worked out. Maybe it worked out because Buttercup wasn't here for the whole sessions, but it worked out.
Actually, ironically, that's very appropriate because Buttercup didn't want to win the trophy.
Yeah, I did think story-wise that it worked out really well, so I didn't feel too bad, Brandon, when it felt to me like Buttercup wasn't in it for the trophy as much as the story, so I didn't, like, there was a part of me like, should I just
No, she won the trophy that she coveted.
She got the trophy of the Implacables, like on our hood ornament in her X-wing or something.
She's a little piece of she found a little piece of TIE fighter debris or something like that.
But I'm really happy that you guys gave me the feedback you did after session 1, which it didn't sit well with me immediately. Because I was like, here's the pitch. It's going to be like Top Gun. You're going to be the Starfighter Academy for 4 sessions. And the feedback I got from you all was like, it'd be nice if we went against actual Imperials and did the like actual Star Wars thing. And it didn't sit well at first. At first I felt a little defensive, like, come on, I did this stuff and I got all this stuff and all this stuff and this stuff. And I love that we play weekly. I love that I have a chance to reflect and to kind of listen and write the stuff down so that it gets in my head. And it was the right call. Like, this was a very fulfilling and interesting battle. And if it'd just been, it's all on the line for the trophy, it wouldn't have been as fun, I think, or as impactful or interesting. And it did let Joe get Star Dancer out of the military. Lord only knows when Janella will show up again.
It's also a very appropriate trope, right? The training class that it's like it has to get out of school a little early, because
very space camp,
dire circumstances.
Yep.
So I want to point out something mechanically that you changed that was just great. I liked going from, 16 pilots down to 8 or 6 down to 6?
12 to 6.
12 to 6. That made it great because it added the tension where we were all like, oh, what's going to happen? And it was very good.
Yeah, thank you. It was very funny that like Joe was, I don't like this only 6 now. And I'm thinking, no, I think this is about right. Like this, You need to be scared because I couldn't roll for crap ever. And maybe I just didn't build my thrust right because I rolled better in this battle than I ever did in the previous hops. And you guys still aced it. It was just crazy.
I think the dice mechanics make it very swingy. It's weird to see how they go. So I think it's easy to roll low because you're only rolling, a limited 3 or 4 dice. And we were able to stack up a bunch of dice against it.
It's true.
So I think it's able to swing quite a bit. So it's hard to predict where it's going to go. So.
But I really appreciate you guys being open to, hey, we're adjusting on the fly. Some of your suggestions really helped me lock in, this is what I want out of this. Everyone was really open and giving to the social scenes, even though like the expectation in Agon and Paragon is narrate a vignette and we're done. And we kind of dropped in and had some pretty long scenes, and that was really, really fun for me. So all in all, I really enjoyed this. It was fun to try something new and different, push and grow new muscles when I didn't have muscles. So thanks all for all of that. And with that, we'll bring this recording to a close. And thanks again.